Yo, welcome to another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap. In today's episode, we got the Simply Ball Dropping Marriage Chronicles. Once again, your host, K-Sap. I got my co-host riding shotgun with me, K-Sap Square. She's in the building. And like I told y'all guys before, when you come in the stream, make sure you share the stream out. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Told you we'd be back. We'll be back with another episode of the Marriage Chronicles. And we got two lovely people on today that are going to tell their love story. And the thing about this story right here, 20 years of marriage, going on 21 years of marriage. And that's a beautiful thing. Black love. You know what I'm saying? So it's always great to reach out to people and they want to share their story. And this couple, they was happily, wanting to come on and talk. So we're going to give it all to you. It's going to be the exclusive. You get it live here on the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. And once again, it's a great day, man. So if y'all got y'all's drink, let me know. Come in the stream. I'm going to open up the phone lines. The comments are on there. Tell me what you're drinking and where you're listening from and what state you're from. It's going to be a dope show. I want to shout out to B Preston, man. B Preston got us right for this show, man. We got our wifey and husband shirts on. My wife is dope. My husband is dope. So shout out to B Preston for taking care of us and, getting us ready for this show. So like I said, always, man, tell a friend to tell a friend, man. And the thing about it is, man, you don't find too many couples like this, man. Black love, man, at its finest, man, through the ups and downs and struggles through marriage and relationships. They still kicking it. They still going strong. So like I always tell people, man, it's a beautiful thing, man. Like the DJ used to say when they in the club, man, ain't nothing out here. So hold what you got. So basically you want to hold what you got. So like I always tell people before we get this show started, I tell DJ, kick the beat.
Yeah. Simply ball dropping. What's up, family? K-Sap, we up! Ain't no stopping. I'm simply ball dropping like it's New Year's Eve, making you haters believe I'm the MVP. Ask Mr. V and R&B, they do all sports, rather it's on the field or the court, from the arena to the ring. What? You wanna swing? I rope a dope like the one on this boxing theme. That's a punchline. I'm the greatest of all time. Got something on your mind? Hit us up on the line for that round table talk. Ask B Hunt and Sheena and K-Sap too for their views on our dudes. Marriage Chronicles for you lovers. Oh, I'm married to the game. The championships, the only time I wanna ring. K-Sap, the man behind the mic, check 1, 2. It ain't a rap until I say it's a rap. Just fall through, pull up, the hottest pod smoking. Yeah, I got you open. This freestyle brought to you by James Ford. Pay promotion, yeah. Simply ball dropping. You know what time it is. Pull up, chop it up with your family, man. K-Sap, what up?
And now, your host of the Simply Ball Droppin' Podcast, the man behind the mic, K-Sap.
Yes, sir, man. I want to give a shout out to my man, James the Fourth, man, for lacing me up with the dope intro, man. Shout out, James Fourth, man. Salute, man. And a lot of people always ask me, man, K-Sap, man, where can I get that apparel, man? We got the Simply Ball Dropping gear. So once again, Makai, tell them where you can get their merchandise.
Hey, guys, to get all the merch that we wear in our videos, go to www.simplyballdroppin.com to go get hats, hoodies, t-shirts. We got it all. Got your favorite NFL team. We got Kobe Bryant stuff. And just go to the website to get all your merchandise.
Man, appreciate that advertisement, Makai, man. Good looking out on the website. So before we get this show started, before we bring on our guests, this show is brought to you by True Choice Insurance.
This episode is sponsored by True Choice Insurance. Here at True Choice, we take a different philosophy when it comes to providing you with your insurance options. We emphasize the value of the products we offer, instead of playing on the fear of you not being protected in your time of need. True Choice is affiliated with more than 60 insurance companies. This makes us one of the most independent agencies in the state of Texas. Please visit TrueChoiceInsurance.com for all your insurance needs.
Yeah, shout out to my man Brian Kelly over there at True Choice Insurance. Him and his crew, man, they do a wonderful job. For people that's in the state of Texas, man, you need insurance, life insurance, any kind of insurance, hit my man up at truechoice.com, man. So I'm not going to hold y'all longer than y'all want to be held, man. We got a beautiful couple on today, man, and we're going to get right off into it. So without further ado, man, I'd like to welcome into the Simply Ball Dropping studio, welcome Mr. and Mrs. Damon King.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Tell a little bit about yourself, Damon Teenie. Tell people a little bit about yourself.
Well, I guess I'll start. First, thank you guys for having us. Let us first say we're very, very nervous. So if you hear a lot of ums, it's just our nerves working themselves out. But in any case, I am Tamiko. I go by Teenie, and this is my husband, Damon. We have been married 20 years, be 21 years in June. We have 3 amazing children, a beautiful dog, and I guess that's kind of it for an introduction, unless you have something, babe.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank you, Sap, for inviting us on, man. We connect with a lot of couples, in our social life, and a lot of times, the story of how we met comes up, and we have a unique story. It ain't all been perfect. It ain't all been all
rainbows
and balloons, but man, she found something in me worth holding on to, and maybe we could say something that could be of value to your listeners, man. So we anxious to share that with you guys.
Man, that's great, man. That's a great introduction, man. So, I mean, you said it best, man. I mean, the nervousness, man. I don't sense no nervousness in you, man. You came that out. You spoke that. People was able to, relate to that. So, basically, we just gonna take a walk down memory lane. We just gonna take a walk down memory lane, and we just trying to figure out, man, where it all started. So, I'm gonna give a chance, for Dame to. Where it all started, man. Just let the people know where it all started.
Oh man, you want to start with me, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thinking back at like my Sophia from the Golden Girls voice, man. Picture it. Frederick, 1990, 94, 95, 94.
94.
Oh man, I was in 94. I was a 19-year-old kid with not a lot going on, man. I was kind of running the streets a little bit, partying and going to school, definitely looking towards my future, but not really ready in a place where I thought I would meet my soulmate, and be ready to kind of start building a life with her. It came up really, really unexpectedly, man, out of nowhere, seriously.
Yes.
So to piggyback, I guess just to continue on that. So like you said, picture it, 1994. Frederick, Maryland, 20-year-old me, 19-year-old him. I guess if you just want me to jump into the story, I was living with a girlfriend in an apartment. I was coming home with another girlfriend from work to change our clothes because we was going to hit the club.
Okay.
20 years old. As we're walking into the apartment building, there are 2 gentlemen sitting on the step that we had never seen before. This dude and a friend of his. So, me and my girlfriend are walking up the steps. His buddy, tries to talk to my girlfriend. I continue walking because if we're being totally honest, I had a boyfriend at the time. So, we're keeping it 100. That's how it started. I had a boyfriend. I wasn't really interested. I was trying to be the good girl, even though, that story that's a whole different story, but it's a whole different story. But long story short, he, eventually talked to me, and
you can't shortcut that part.
Yes, we can.
No, you can't shortcut. No, stop.
Wait.
Go ahead. I'm gonna let you go, but you can't shortcut.
So I go in, change my clothes. We go in, change our clothes, come back out. They're still there. So we walk to the car, and his friend walks up to my friend, again, and they start talking, and then he walks out. I get in the car. I have a boyfriend. There's no reason for me to stop and talk to you. I have a boyfriend. Even though, again, that's a whole different story. But he comes up to me, and I get in the car, and he comes up to me. Do you want to quote what you said to me? Do you want me to?
Do I remember? I'm trying to think. So,
do you remember?
So
what
listen.
You said
So
to
this
me?
this is the part I couldn't have let her skip over, man, because she was a young me, and back then I actually had a pocket version of Iceberg Slim's autobiography with some of the greatest lines. No, all right, maybe not. That might have been over. So no, I was a jive shy. So she had a boyfriend, and I didn't know that, but I was jive fresh out of a relationship. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, because this is going to come up later, I was in my relationship status at the time was it's complicated.
One of them Facebook statuses, huh?
Yeah. If Facebook was a thing back then, my status would have been it's complicated. But I gotta admit, man, I gotta give credit where credit is due. Her and her girlfriend, man, they came out and they was dressed up to go hit one of the parties. I think up at Fort Detrick or somewhere local. I wasn't really familiar.
Anyway,
but she came out, boy, and she was dressed to impress. I mean, short skirt, the high boots, the tights on underneath. I mean. I remember. I could really go into detail. The skirt was plaid, the boots and the tights were black, the top was black, the makeup was on point.
It was all that.
She had the Janet Jackson braids. That was poetic justice. She had the Janet Jackson braids. She looked good. I honestly on everything, and this is gonna make you laugh. I thought she was Ethiopian when I first met her. Her features, man, were like just so kind of like ethnic. I don't know, that's a bad word or whatever. But I honestly thought that she was like Ethiopian or Eritrean, something like that, man. So my man was, he was talking to her girlfriend, and I was Josh shy. I wasn't really studying the Iceberg Slim playbook, but he kind of, he's talking to her friend. And he's looking at me over the top of the car like, what's up, man? You gonna do what you do? So then I walked up and I hit her with, man, the smoothest line. and write this down. Get us to Macau because it might lead him to his soulmate one day.
Really?
I said, excuse me. I wouldn't be able to forgive myself if I let you go away without coming over to just say hello. Got him! Billy D Mahogany. It was that big. It was that big.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. But Damon, let me ask you a question. Like,
yes, sir.
that was back in '94, but you originally not from Frederick, Maryland. So how'd you make your way up to Frederick?
Well, yeah, that's a whole nother story.
Running the streets. We just gonna leave it at running the streets. Long story short,
man, me and my homeboy, but you know how you get.
He was 19.
Frederick had that small town feel. So you being from Frederick, understand what it's like. You done everything you feel like it is to do in Frederick, and now you going out other places trying to see what it was to do, go party, hang out, whatever.
Yeah.
See who you could meet. That's all it was. We was just on that back then, just going to different places, different towns. My man was real job social, so it was easy for him to kind of connect with people. Mm-hmm. So we was up here doing the same thing, just looking for some parties, looking for some females, to kick it with, and that's what I found.
So the thing about it is, Damon, like, did you know about Frederick before you said, okay, let's just go up to Frederick and hit the party scene? Did you know about it?
I had been up to Frederick like one or maybe two times previously. Because Frederick has the Frederick area has a couple of really nice like state parks. You got Catoctin, Fountain up in Thurmont. That's why I went up there. I did some hiking, and then they also got Gambrel. So I had previously come up on on some field trips or something like when I was younger, and did hiking at both of those parks. So I was familiar with it, but not really familiar with it as a town. It was more like that's up in the mountains where the state parks and stuff are, and cougars and goats and.
Okay, great. So at that time, Teenie, so Damon, he made the little move. He pushed up on you. What was your response to it when he came over and spoke to you?
Honestly, I think I just played shy at the time. Again, I was flat. I was flattered. I'm sure I smiled all big.
Biggest, prettiest smile I've seen.
I was flattered. And I think that night we actually, so we're about to tell how old we are. So that night, I'm pretty sure we exchanged pager numbers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. It was 1994, way before cell phones, way before cell phones or any of that. So I'm pretty sure we exchanged pager numbers that night. I went on about my business, went out with my girl, and I have to be honest, like I thought he was really cute, and I thought about him like I did. I was like, what if I do call him now? Now don't get it twisted. I hadn't forgotten that I was in this complicated situation. Back at home.
I was in a complicated situation.
You were in a.
You had a boyfriend.
It was complicated. It was complicated. So again, I was flattered. I wasn't at that. I was 19, but I wasn't used to guys just walking up on me and and complimenting me. He told me he told me he thought I was pretty and all that. So yes, I was flattered. But again, I went on about my night, and I don't know. Like I don't think we talked to each other for a while after
it might have.
that.
So that part after, like I remember
now
first meeting,
it gets kind
but
of
then right after that, I know y'all went and partied. We stayed up in Frederick that night, but we ain't stayed where y'all was. We got into somebody got into like a card game or something with some people that my man knew. So we was chilling though, and then we caught up the next day.
Was it the next day? Yeah. I don't know. I know y'all were there. Like I feel like we definitely ran into each other again, but nothing really, but nothing happened again. I can remember like there was a point in time like where we definitely had exchanged pager numbers, and he never paged me. Like he never paged me. So I was like, oh,
so just to be clear, on the only reason that was an issue was because my man that hooked up, that connected with her friend, had also connected with her roommate. Not the same friend that he's saying when we first. Oh yeah, when I first seen him. That's a whole different story. That's we'll let them tell that story.
Right,
but
whatever.
The thing was, he connected with her, so because he was connecting with her, I'm pretty sure you was looking out for me, and I was definitely wanted to connect with her, right. but keep it 100 at the time. I had a son, I had a 1-year-old son, and I had a job down in the city, like an hour drive away. So I didn't stay up in Frederick. My man, job stayed up in the Frederick area, business connection, what have you. And I let some time go by before, and not let it go by, but life happened. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with work, dealing with children, and all those scenarios that you deal with. So it was a couple of weeks before I got back at her.
Yeah,
but it was cool though when I did. I was glad I did reach out, man, because I could have missed out on something.
Let that one go by, huh?
Yeah.
So basically, Dame, when you stepped on the scene, I can safe to say, and I'm gonna put this little insert in here. This is what your motto was.
If you think I'm here to play around with y'all, God damn it, I'm not.
So that's what you was trying to do right there.
She thought
that playing around, huh?
It's crazy how accurate that is, man. In hindsight, man, for real.
Right. That's hilarious. That's hilarious, Kareem. That's perfect. That's perfect.
I mean, hey, sometimes, like I always tell people, you always got a plan. It had to be a plan. He had a method to what he was doing. So, like he said, he had to get back with you. So
I wouldn't go that far. To say he had a method. He would,
he knew what he was doing.
I mean,
I was a dude, right? I was a 19-year-old dude that seen an attractive, woman out that I felt was giving me some rhythm. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I had a plan. It wasn't this plan. This wasn't a plan. 3 kids and the mortgage and the life insurance. That wasn't the plan.
Not the plan at all.
It definitely wasn't. The plan was, I'm a.
You know what the plan
get it
was.
shorty. You know what I mean? Especially since my man had the end, right? He was with the roommate. He was messing with the roommate, right? So, but she still had the boyfriend though.
Okay.
So I had to get over that hurdle. You know what I'm saying? I had to Carl Lewis that, and it was just, it was wild, man. It was in hindsight, it was honestly some of the funnest times of my life, man. Like memories, man, that I never forget. I don't know how deep she want to go into the whole she had a
We're
boyfriend
not.
thing.
We're not. No, Kareem, you got another question?
hey, but hold on, hey, it's a little backstory to that, man, because it's kind of funny because me and Teenie, we stayed across the street from each other.
Yeah.
We like brothers and sisters, right? And I can recall it's times that I would go across the street, and I know Damon in the back of the mind was saying, "Man, who's this nigga that keep coming over your house?" You know what I'm saying? I kind of remember that. I kind of remember like Damon probably asking Teenie like, "Man, who this nigga that's in your house?" You know what I'm saying? Not knowing who I was. You know what I'm saying?
Relationship was. No, that's facts,
Right.
Kareem. I remember being on the phone with her, and it would be you and all the crew. You know what I'm saying? Over there chilling. And I'm like, who the fuck?
Yeah.
I ain't trying to listen. Y'all know me. I ain't trying to get played, right? Yeah. The game changed, but it ain't changed that much. Everybody's still out here. You know what I'm saying? Doing their thing, man. So.
That's funny, Kareem, that you remember that.
No, I had to slide that in there. I remember that because I remember the Teenie. Hey, but Damon, Teenie, y'all used to be on the phone a lot, and I just happened to be over there. You know what I'm saying? And I know how it would look like you talking on the phone, like, man, who this motherfucker in the background? You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
and it was like that was right. And that was probably like, I don't know, probably a year or two, probably at least a year, maybe close to, because I had moved back home.
Oh, yeah. So
we had moved back home with your mother. Yeah.
So that was probably like, I don't know, probably a year in, because I had moved out of the apartment where we met. Moved back. I had moved back home in order for that to happen, for you to be at my house. Like we, again, because we've known each other since 4th grade. So, we were spent a lot of time at each other's house. But yes, that. To be honest, that was kind of a hurdle.
I remember that.
I had to throw that in there because I'm like, man, let me put, for people that didn't know, let me put that in there, because I know how it would seem like, man, you on the phone coked up, but you got some other dude in the background. Who is this dude? You know what I'm saying? So
that's that that young, immature, because facts be told, man. So you're right. We went through. So remember when we first met, she had the apartment, with the boyfriend, right?
Yeah.
And not with the boy.
I'm sorry. She had an apartment.
I had an apartment. It wasn't
the boyfriend
with him.
was just at all the time. Every time I came around, he there. But I'm trying. I'm still. Anyway. I'm trying my hand. But so that wasn't until after she moved out the apartment and then moved back home. So she moved back home, and so what a lot of people don't know is that after that. We carried on, not even we carried on a long distance relationship
for like
an hour. Like, you can call it long distance, but back then our resources wasn't what they are now. So that hour drive was like, shit, I ain't had no car. Can I get a ride? It was like that, and so we carried that on for like 2 years. You know what I mean?
We probably lived long distance. We probably lived apart for like 2 years.
I don't talk about weekends, renting cars, getting, hotels, so we could, have privacy and space to,
Well, it's getting serious then.
Yeah, and after that point, so we
figured as much.
Yeah, it was after we met, it was, you ended up breaking up with dude, and then I'm sorry, I keep hitting that. She knew what she had. She man, listen.
Anyway,
so at what point?
Go ahead.
Teenie, this is for you. So at what point? Where you were in a relationship, that seems kind of familiar. So you were in a relationship. I don't know how serious it was, and I know you don't want to get into it. But at what point did you feel like, okay, I'm really feeling Damon? I don't know what this is. I don't know if it was on the brink of a breakup or what that was. But at what point did you feel like, okay, this is where I want to be? This is who I want to spend my time with and be in a relationship with.
So if we're being completely honest, so Damon and I met October 6, 1994. And so we met October 6, 1994. Let's just say by Thanksgiving of 1994. The boyfriend was over. That relationship was done, and Damon and I were. He
started leaving socks over there.
He had left his
toothbrush, duffel bag.
So it didn't take it literally happened really fast. Like it
It
happened
did.
really fast.
It
And
did.
we think back to it, like we were literally talking about it today. We were both like, just thinking back, like, it happened so fast. Like we were both literally on the and I say I had a boyfriend, but again,
She was checked out.
I was checked out. I was just waiting for him waiting for him to find a place. Damon just happened to, I met Damon at, I don't know if it was the right time or the wrong time, but again, Damon and I, we really, our relationship really went fast forward just like that, literally just like that. So again,
That's
we
good
met
stuff.
in October. We met in October. By Thanksgiving, again, his toothbrush was in the apartment. It literally weeks.
Playing house. I figured out how to get. I was working in Tyson's Corner at the time. That's when I had my little my IT job. Yeah, so that they decided they was going, make sure I could get back and forth to work. And, you know what I'm saying? Help a brother out. My son was coming up to visit. I mean, it was crazy, man. It was like really fast. Like I wouldn't, advise, like if my children had followed a similar type of path into a relationship, I would have advocated against it, told them the laws and all the reasons why this is wrong. We're both literally
100%.
job on the rebound, from the relationship. And again, I had a 1-year-old son, so I mean, you do the math. It take 9 months to make it, right? And then a year after that, so I was in a relationship, for all intents and purposes. That status was questionable when we met, but I still got a child, with this woman. So, there's no denying that, we were jive in the same boat. You know what I'm saying? From a relationship status standpoint.
But that's respect though, because I see the growth and the maturity, right? Yeah. Because we talk about it on all podcasts, regardless if we're doing a Marriage Chronicles, if I'm doing a sports podcast, or if we're doing a roundtable. It's the time that we grew up in, right? And you looking at the time that we in now, kids are totally different. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And you try to teach your kids not to be like you, create your own path, right? Mm-hmm. And for you to mention that, hey, you would advocate this if your kids had to go down the same path that you went down. That's growth and maturity right there, showing that, hey, the way you did it, you coming off of a rebound, which I shouldn't have did it that way. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, God brought y'all together and no man can take you apart. You know what I'm saying? Right. It was the path that you had to go down to get what you wanted. So at the same time, the same question that Kanisha asked Teenie, I'm going to ask Damon. So when did you feel that she was the right person for you? Because like I stated earlier, you had a game plan, because you basically saying the things that you did. You carried your duffel bag, you left some socks over there, took the toothbrush. You knew what your plan was. You knew what you wanted. So at this time, you got through all the hurdles with, the rebound and stuff. We throw that out the way, but now she's yours. So what made you, say to yourself, like, yeah, she's going to be the one. She's going to be my wife.
So.
Oh, he jumped to the wife. That was a long. That was a long.
There's
a lot of time.
Yeah, there's several kind of answers in there, man. So, it wasn't right away. I mean, I'm gonna tell you what I did see when I met Tamiko and in the early the early parts of our relationship. Man, I seen that she was special. You know what I mean? So. As a young cat, job out here dating, I'm down the city. Ain't no shortage of women to meet. I've been blessed not to be too ugly. So it wasn't. I never really had an issue like meeting women. When I met her, man, she had, and then this is just something that you sense as a man, right? And fellas, if you married, if you got that one, you know what I'm talking about, man. It's something you sense. And there's a saying that say, people come into your life for a reason, for a season, or for a lifetime. Yeah. When I met
another one,
and another one, when I met her, man, I definitely sensed that she wasn't one to fuck around over. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. She wasn't one to to knock off and leave hurt. You know what I'm saying? She
totally agree.
there was something I sensed, man, a spirit. You know, I was raised, you know, by very spiritual parents, grandparents, all everybody in my family. You know, so for me, I couldn't quantify all the qualities because back then I wouldn't even have the vocabulary to do it. You know, but it was something in me that said, man, she a good one. You know, hold on to that. It was something in me that just said you. It was qualities, man, that just reminded me of my mom. And I don't know if that's corny or what, but there was just a sweet spirit, something in me that said this one is real wifey material.
Okay.
And I couldn't let go. Now that's my heart speaking. Now mentally, I wasn't there yet, right? So after, you know, when, you know, she had the boyfriend, I'm on the rebound. I'm in my mind, the ego was boosted because I done took her from her man, and you know, I'm in the crib, you know what I mean? So I'm dealing with that immature side of me. So it was a couple of years, you know what I'm saying, before I really came to the conclusion that she was the one. And we had to, you know, deal with some things, you know, personally before we even got there. But so if we met in 94, late in like towards the end of 94, it was definitely probably 96 before I kind of started to know that, all right, I gotta build something, you know what I'm saying? I gotta build something. And then even that kind of came unexpectedly, whereas we were doing our thing. I was working, I was going to school, doing my IT thing, you know, going to school, planning. When she comes down, like on the weekend or whatever, we looking at apartments, you know what I'm saying? I remember you was working at Value City at the time, and you was going to get the, you know, the manager little position at the joint. Look, check it for anybody that's listening from PG area down Iverson Mall. We thought that was a career move. That's how bad we were back then, right? That's the kind of shape we was in. But you know, I want to be with her. She want to be with me. We gonna make it happen. Well, that ain't work out. She ended up in when did we find out about C?
Oh my God! She was born in 97, so I don't know.
So
once we found out,
it was 96.
Late 96.
It was late 96. We found out that she was pregnant with our daughter, our first daughter, Sierra.
This was 4 years in because Lil Damon was 4 when she was born.
Yeah. So. And when that happened, it was like, all right, bam. I knew that I wasn't gonna be the dude to at that point to leave, you know. I never wanted to be that dude that left a bunch of kids just out here without they father in their life. You know what I'm saying? And so it was then that the mental me caught up with the heart. And I said, you know what? I love her first and foremost because she's, you know, an amazing woman with all these great qualities and a heart that lets me know that she's lifetime material, but I'm still immature as fuck. You know what I mean? So I gotta get over that, you know. But it was then that I decided. But then life's curveballs started happening. So while we're planning we're looking at apartments. Initially, I wasn't even moving to Frederick, bro. We was gonna move down in the PG area. You know what I mean? We looked at some places down there, found some spots we felt comfortable with. Then I lost my motherfucking job, man.
Wow.
Pardon my language. I'm sorry.
Oh nah, man. Hey, we keep it raw and uncut, man. Do what you got to do, baby.
Yeah. Then I lost my job, man.
Right.
And she's pregnant. And
wow.
I job went back to the
let's stop right there.
Back to what I knew.
Wait a minute, stop. Hold on. Kanisha said stop.
Said, wait a minute. You said you lost your job and she pregnant. Okay, so at this point, and you have a child, Damon, right? Damon, you don't have any kids at this point, right?
Other than what was in my belly.
So pregnant by Damon, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. I just want
right.
Make sure.
Damon, she been drinking.
Hey, no. You don't know. Stuff be happening. You know, you never know what may be happening.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fair, Kanisha. That's fair.
Yeah,
it was messy.
Okay.
Right. The whole thing was messy, so I get why you asked.
Okay. All right, you can go ahead.
No, by that point, we were together and pregnant, living apart. Yeah, we were living apart by this point. We weren't living together. So, did Damon answer your question when he knew? Because he went on.
Oh yeah, because and I was going to
Yeah,
piggyback off of that because some of the stuff that he was saying, and I'm listening, and I'm looking at your expressions for him to reiterate that stuff. How does that make you feel for him to come out and express that while you sitting right there?
You know what? The one thing I could say, for me, this isn't anything I haven't heard before. So
okay.
I have to say that one of the things that I love about Damon is that he has always complimented me. He has always put he has always put me on a pedestal. Literally from day one. Like I would tell him, there have been so many times I feel like he would put me on this pedestal and I didn't know what to do with it. I'm like, dude, I'm a regular person. Like I need you to treat me like a regular person. Talk to me like a regular person. I wasn't used to all this compliment stuff and him treating me, like I was this princess because again, like, I wasn't used to that.
You are.
You're a black queen, a black queen.
I've learned, so this is something I've come to learn, but 20 and 21, hell, 23, 24-year-old me did not recognize any of those things, in me. So I have to say that Damon has always talked, he's always talked very highly of me. And even like to the point, like what he said, where he felt like there was something, something about my spirit that he felt. He's always told me that literally back in the 90s, he was telling me that. So so to hear him say that, yes, it's flattering. And I don't say that I don't want to sound like I take that for granted. I am flattered, when he says that, but I still especially on this platform, I'm like, he says that and I know he means it, but I don't know what to do other than to just look at him and smile because I know he means every word of that. Like I know he does.
And the crazy thing about it is, growing up with you, Teenie, hanging out with y'all, the crew that we used to have. We used to go to the parks all the time and just being around you, you know what I'm saying? And growing up, watching your every step for us, walking to school down the hill, walking home together and stuff like that. And for Dame to say that stuff, as me, as being a big brother, I saw them qualities in you too, because you was a well-mannered person in the way you carried yourself. And for somebody to come in your life and put you on that pedestal and just reiterate things that other people seen from you is just special. So for Damon to come on and, like he said, you hear it all the time, and he put you on this pedestal all the time. But growing up, Teenie, other people saw them qualities in you too, and Damon is just bringing it to the forefront, and he just reassuring you that hey, I'm not the only one. You know what I'm saying? But that's your husband. So he's giving you all the compliments and stuff like that, because I was just looking at your reactions when Damon's telling his story, and like Jay Sean said, you sweating a little bit, but we're gonna get past that. So, but that's pretty nice.
Okay, so I have another question, and this is for both of you.
Okay.
So how did you know things was getting serious? Like, how did you know that, hey, all right, we've been doing this little dating little game.
It's
we
getting
may
hot.
be living together. We may be, going over each other's houses. When did it get to a point where you like, all right, my mental is checked. I know this is the one I'm trying to move forward with. She's pregnant at this point. So at that point, how did you know it was getting serious?
Well, okay. Clearly, we knew, well before we got pregnant that we were serious. Like that, I honestly, I don't know if that it was a moment, but I guess just from, all the time we were spending together, the sacrifices we were making, to be with each other, and that was probably, 90. I don't know, late 95, early 96, when we were really, sacrificing to be, when we were really sacrificing to be with each other. So I think for me, it was probably like like I said, like late 95, early 96, before I got pregnant, before I got pregnant by far, but again, not that there was any like one moment, but again, it was just a collection of all the things that we were doing for each other. And again, to sustain this relationship that for me, I guess I knew, at that point, I was just like, yeah, I'm in. And then I guess being pregnant probably sealed it. Getting pregnant quite sealed it for me.
That's funny.
Right. So as a man, Damon, how would you answer that? Because I know men, they think it's different for men because men have to be in a different mindset. Women, we're a little emotional.
Right.
We're a little bit more sensitive. So we may fall sometimes a little bit easier than the man is ready for. So when did you know you was really ready and this is it? This is where I want to move forward.
Yeah, Kanisha, man, they say that God takes care of children and fools. I was a fool, man. I don't know that before she was pregnant, I could sense and see and feel and observe and experience all of those things about her that I thought were special. You know what I'm saying? But for a guy, that ain't always, you know what I'm saying, enough. Like you gotta come to that place within yourself. And so for me, and I ain't trying like going the whole, because I jump on your couch and I psychoanalyze myself.
We're not doing
But for me, I had a need for security. And I don't know if that sounds crazy coming from a guy, right? But I had a need for security, and I felt that with her, we could build that together. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it looked like. And I didn't even have a vision for what it looked like, whether it meant to be a house in the hills or apartment somewhere. Like I just felt like if we connected and held on, then it was going to be we were going to be all right. You know, that we was I was going, not have. She was never going to not have, because I knew I was already, a working / hustler kind of dude anyway. So I knew that I was going to do whatever it took, to make sure that she had, and I felt like she was going to match that work. You know what I'm saying? She was going to match that energy. And all this, again, this was late 95, early 96 when it really kind of came to, when it really started to get like real. You know what I mean? It was really around that mid 90s where it really started to get real for us. And I wish I could name something specifically. A specific time, a specific action, because I feel like that would be real helpful to some young brothers or any brothers that's listening. But I can't. We found each other and we held on.
Yeah,
man, that's good stuff, man. And we're gonna take a small little advertisement break, and when we come back, we're gonna get off into how the proposal went down.
Okay.
So y'all stay tuned. And here's a special shout out.
Be Pressin'. Customize and press is what we do. We customize just for you. Shirts, mugs, masks, canvas prints, tote bags, tumblers, and more. Our goal is to bless, satisfy, and put a smile in your heart and on your face.
Yo, shout out to B Pressin. B Pressin is in the building. Shout out to Rob and Janita. They tuned in. Appreciate your support. And always, just want to shout out a couple people that's in the comments, man. Shout out to Melinda. She's watching all the way from North Carolina. Shout out to my man, Almighty Archer, man. Chimed in from Oklahoma City. Shout out to Latoya G. Shout out to Jackie Thompson. Shout out to Kelly Butler. Shout out to Dewan. Shout out to my man, B Hunt. Shout out to Jay Sean. Thank you guys for all your comments and stuff like that. Shout out to Trinity Dorsey. Everybody knows her as Ginger. Appreciate all y'all's support. And guys, like I said, man, you get in, man, share the stream. So now this part of the section, we're going to get off into the big proposal. Now that we got that story out the way of how they met and some of the hurdles that they got over to get to this point, now there's a baby in the belly. So now the proposal goes down. So we're gonna get right off into it. So Damon, I'm gonna ask you first. I mean, since you're the man, I'm gonna ask you at this particular question. You know, I ask all my guests when I interview them on the Simply Ball Dropping Marriage Chronicles, how did the proposal go down? Let us know.
All right. Well, I gotta own this one with a little bit of a little bit of shame in that she never got a proper proposal. I had asked Tamiko multiple times over the years if she would be like willing to marry me, but she never got the down on one knee, you know, baby, I'm putting it all on the line. I went and spent 3 months salary on this her first ring. Ooh, yeah, I don't even want to show you the ring.
Anyway, I love my ring, and I still have it to this day. I still have my ring.
But she never got the proper proposal, man. We found this. Yeah, Rob, that's the B Presser shirt. Yeah, we went. After I had proposed probably 3 times prior, just in general, like would you want to marry me if it came down to it? Type proposals. We was at Fredericktown Mall. Exactly. This is how bad it is.
Because he knows what Fredericktown Mall is.
So we went together and we just went ring shopping. Found the ring, and what happened after that?
I think we just kind of assumed that we were getting married after that.
Basically set a date.
We did.
Wow.
Like that's pretty much how it happened, and we were planning the wedding. We were, I guess we were engaged for a little while before we like physically started planning the wedding. And in the midst of planning the wedding, now mind you, I had already had baby number 1. In the midst of planning the wedding, we found out
baby number 2.
So wedding plans get pushed to the side. We're like, we'll have to wait till the baby is born. And when little Miss India was 18 months old, then we got married.
Hey, but that's your story though. That's your story.
Man,
that's what makes
it is.
I wouldn't trade it for that, man.
Exactly. So stories like this, they carry a lot of weight, man, because only y'all two can write your story. You know what I'm saying? And I always say, living in the times that we living in, a lot of people do stuff different. The lavish weddings, the different proposals. Yeah. But Damon, you got to understand something. This all the way back in the 90s, man. You know what I'm saying?
We were 3 kids in and struggling.
Yeah.
We were
so
financially 3 kids. So the wedding was definitely, even the proposal, we were 2 kids in, but we were still, we were struggling at that point. Like we were like, and
you see what Rob said, right?
I can't stand that, dude.
Right.
I love it, but I can't stand it.
Yeah.
And even the ring, Damon talks about the ring. I loved my ring. I still love my ring. I do. And
that's all that matters. You find value in that.
Right. And Damon thinks I need better because Damon puts me on a pedestal and thinks I deserve, and again, I get it, but I'm fine with our story. Like I'm fine with
I said, this is y'all's story. This is y'all's love story. Anything else, it wouldn't matter because the fact that y'all two wrote y'all's own story, Right. And the thing about it is y'all wrote y'all's own story long enough to be 20 years in the marriage. You know what I'm saying?
Still talking about the things.
Right.
Yeah. So, and the thing about it is everybody always wants to know is like 20 years in. They say when you first get married, that first 5 years, it's a lot to get over, right? I know there's ups and downs in marriages and stuff. It's obstacles that you got to get over, but as a unit, y'all stuck together, regardless of what the outside people may say, regardless of what your friends might say. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has a perception about a lot of different things, but y'all story, y'all stuck together, and y'all still writing y'all story. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of the ups and downs, but y'all done got over the ups and downs. So for the young people out here that are, freshly married, that are getting into marriage and stuff, what is some of the things that you could tell them, like some of the hurdles that you got to get over in a marriage?
You want to go first?
I'll go first. So we have a 28-year-old son, married just that.
Little Damon, shout out to little Damon.
Yes, 28. He'll be 29 later this year. Married for 2 years. He'll be 2 years. They're coming up on their 2-year anniversary one baby that will be 1 year old in April, another baby due in June.
Yes.
So I say all that to say our son and his wife are like the first young couple that we had the opportunity to kind of pour into.
Yeah.
to pour into.
Yeah.
Now they live their own life. They live in Georgia and they do things their own way, and that's fine. Again, they're writing their story. The one thing that I have tried to stress to them is, and that I would tell any young couple, if anyone asked me, I tell them, just remember that you're going to change. You're going to change. Your spouse is going to change. You guys are going to evolve. Now, the scary part about that is that will you evolve together? And that's the scary part for me. That's the scary part. So my advice is just to keep in mind that when you get married, you're a certain person. 5 years in, you may not be that certain. You or your spouse may not be that person. 10 years in, you most definitely will not be that same person. So
speak on it.
When we talk about trials and tribulations in a marriage and the struggles, I feel like those are the kind of things that's where the struggles come in. Trying to hold on to who you are, connect with who you are, connect with your spouse who could be a new person or a different person, and then trying to somehow make all of that work.
Yes.
And in the midst of that, you could have kids, you have in-laws, you have you just have life. So I say all that to say, be patient.
Mm-hmm.
Be patient with yourself. Be patient with your spouse. And another bit of information that I give this credit to my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law was a huge influence in our lives, in our married lives, in our and she always told us to always date, always make time for date night, to make time for each other. Your mom said this to me multiple times. So we had a phenomenal support system.
Yes.
So we always had someone that was willing to keep our kids. We didn't have to beg anybody to keep our kids.
That's a great thing.
So having a support system and utilizing that support system when you can, and to always, always, always make time for yourselves outside of the kids, because you're going to live your life around these kids for so long, and not just till they're 18, even beyond 18. So you have to always make time. And this is something I learned along the way. I didn't learn this in one day. I didn't know this when I was 21. I learned this. I'm still learning this, but always make time for you and your spouse to spend time together. So
preach, Teenie, preach.
Those would be that would be my advice to young couples. Not even just to young couples, to just couples in general.
Hey, that's good stuff, man. Damon, that's gonna be a tough act to follow, man. So I mean, from a man's point of view, what kind of advice can you give?
She always been a tough act to follow, man, and that right there, it just lets you know the kind of heart. That's what I fell in love with her, man. Yeah, she was cute in the face and slim in the waist, but that's the heart. All right, back to the question. To the question, man.
That's how them two kids came, huh?
Man,
cute in the face and slim in the waist, huh?
Man, hey, man, listen. If we was off camera, there's more.
And now, shut up.
Yeah,
Dame, that's right, Dame. Keep it real. Keep it real, Dame.
Stop it, Kareem.
The one thing I can say to young folk, and this is whether male or female in a relationship, marriage, man, when you find that person, man, and you are there and y'all are working together and building towards something, man, just hold on. And I say that because she man, I don't want to say she saved me, man, but man, she made me grow up. You know what I'm saying? And so I say that to say, despite everything that we went through, man, we chose to continue to hold on because in each other, we saw the other side of the rainbow. You know what I'm saying? We saw the greener grass on the other side, and that we could get there if we fought and strove and stuck together to get there. And I think a lot of, and especially in this day and age, man, of instant gratification or quick gratification, it's easy to see something and think that, this little thing that talk sweet in your ear, she might, think that she's gonna offer you something better than the one that you went to war with to get to where you are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's not, man. There's nothing better than to find a way to continue to choose and recapture everything that you fell in love with that one you fell in love with.
Beautiful.
That right there is more precious and more special than anything else outside of your marriage that you think is going to fill that space that you think is missing. You know what I mean? Is missing something.
Yeah.
Choosing to make, what I'm saying, everything work with her, and her finding something in me worth holding on to, choosing again to continue to make this thing work. That's priceless, man. It ain't nothing better than that. Because something that you think look better out there, or something that a little flashier, a little whatever, you know what I'm saying, physically draw your eye, whatever, might not have that same. Imagine buying a used BMW with a Volkswagen engine. You know what I mean? Like that's what you could be trading in the big body Benz for. You know what I mean? Nah, man, don't trade. I think Shaq said it a few years ago when LA traded him. You don't trade the big body Benz, man. You got to hold on to her, man.
And that's perfect, man. Like they said, man, that's that 80-20, man. You keep that 80, fuck that 20. You know what I'm saying? So it's good. It's good that you said that, Dame, that y'all, stuck together. And like I tell people about when I met my wife, man, when I met her, she grounded me. You know what I'm saying? Wow. So once I got to that level where she grounded me, I said to myself, okay, yeah, we on to something now. So, but that's for another day. Our story is out there. We did our story last year on Valentine's Day. So if you didn't get a chance to check that out, it's on the YouTube channel. Our story's out there. So if you get a chance, man, you can go take a look at it. But Damon, that was some beautiful words that you said. And see, the crazy thing about it is, look, Teenie got that fan. The thing about it is, Rob told me put the show on hold. He gonna run you a Henny bottle. So
because Rob knows Damon would just get to talking and talking.
Yeah,
We're not doing that.
And I think that's what he want. He said, "You putting on a good show, Dame." So keep talking. Like I said, it's y'all story. No. But we're gonna take a little quick break, run an advertisement, and when we get back, we're gonna have to wrap up the conclusion of y'all's love story.
Let's do it.
All right. So just stay tuned, and we're gonna give a shout out to one of our sponsors.
Yeah. Boho Chic Boutique is dedicated to the lovers of fashion. Specializing in bohemian chic handbags, accessories, and personal shopping. Visit Boho Chic Boutique at bohochictx.com. BOHOCHICTX.com.
Yes, shout out to Boho Chic. So we're gonna wrap it up, but we're gonna give a conclusion to their love story. So this part of it, we're just gonna wrap it up, and also something special I said I was gonna do for Dame. He's in the juice business. I'm gonna give him a chance to put out all his credentials for the people that are watching the show that wants to connect with him. He's gonna put out all his where you can find him and how you can get in contact with him to get what you got to get. So at this time, the phone lines are open. So if any of y'all want to call in and ask the Keens a direct question, man, y'all can call in on the phone lines. The phone lines are at the bottom of the screen. You can call in at 240-344-9209. Also, if you don't want to call in, we have the After the Podcast email address, ask.us@simplyballdroppin.com without the G, and you can write in if you have any comments about the show or any feedback or anything that you want to hear. If you want to be a guest on the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast, Marriage Chronicles, for all you lovers that are out there, I see a lot of lovers in the comments. So you get a chance to tell your story. Latoya G, I see you in there. You and Larry, y'all 25 years in. Let's get y'all story out there. I mean, y'all had a beautiful 25 anniversary celebration. It was beautiful. Sorry that we couldn't make it, but we love you guys, man, and that was beautiful. So for people that don't know your story, you get a chance to share it on the Simply Ball Dropping podcast. And once again, like I said, for everybody that's in the stream, I appreciate you tuning in. Tell a friend to tell a friend, and that's the only way we can get the podcast out there. If you guys share it to your friends, it might not be for you, but it might be for somebody else. So like I said, we appreciate that. So we're going to come to the conclusion of it. So we just got some last questions that we want to, ask Teenie and Damon. So we're going to get it popping. I think Kanisha got some questions, so we're going to turn it over to KSAP Square.
Okay. Let's go.
So y'all know I like to dig in deep.
Let's go. Come on with it.
So I want to know from the both of you, what was your biggest challenge going into being a couple, whether it was being married, getting engaged, going through the whole deal? What was the biggest challenge, whether it had been, Damon saying, hey, I lost my job, these things happen. Teenie, oh man, we got pregnant, we ran through a couple of hurdles. We still working this thing out. We still want to do it. What was the biggest challenge for the both of you that you can tell everybody?
Let's see. I would have to say the biggest challenge for me was probably was Damon having a child and having to deal with with his son's mother. And not that it was an issue, but we were all young. Trying to navigate through that was crazy, to be honest. So there were moments where it was crazy to the point that at one point, so I never had any, me and his son's mother never had any word, we never had any words or anything. All the chaos was really with Damon and his son's mother. So it really came to the point. At one point, I was kind of like the mediator between the two of them. So her and I got along better than the two of them got along at one point.
Oh, that's funny.
But there was a point in time when early on in our relationship where she was not, and I guess understandable. I've never been in this situation, but on that side of it. But I can understand again, because early on everything was so complicated. So it looked to her at one point where it looked like I was the reason for their breakup. But that wasn't the case. So trying to navigate through that whole time. And again, us being 21, 22, 23, 24 years old, we didn't know what we were doing. We were literally just taking it day by day. And some of those days were very ugly. So I would have to say, for me, probably one of the biggest challenges was just having to just knowing that I was with someone with a child that had a previous relationship, with someone else. So I had to just either I had to accept all of that, or I had to be like, I can't do it and walk away from that. But at some point I made up my mind I was just going to find my way to navigate my way through all of that. And here we are 20 years later. We made it. There were days I didn't think we would make it, but we made it.
Right. Because to piggyback off of you, Teenie, that's a big thing when you have to navigate through someone already having a child. You didn't have any kids.
No, I didn't.
So maybe if you would have had a child, it may not have been as complicated, but it may still have been complicated, because that was one of the things I always said. I felt like I never wanted anyone who had a child, just because I didn't want to deal with the drama. But I was just fortunate enough to not have to deal with drama. But I can get what you were saying. You know, that just it gets to a point to where I think it takes a maturity level to be able to say, okay, this is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be with this man. I love him. If I love him, I got to accept him for him and what he comes with, just as I would want him to accept me and for what I come with.
Right.
That's
Exactly.
beautiful, man.
Right.
Y'all ladies, man, y'all kind of that's beautiful, Teenie, that you brought that up, man, because one of the people in the comments said modern women are not built like you. So I mean, you're speaking a lot of stuff, Teenie, that a lot of people might not understand, but there's a lot of people that can relate to what you're saying. So, like you said, with the compliments that your husband gives you, also there's people that's in the comments giving you them same compliments.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that lets you know that it's genuine. It's all love. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, y'all story is y'all story. You know what I'm saying? Nobody can take that away from you. And the crazy thing about it is, I mean, in all marriages, there's challenges, there's hiccups and hurdles that you got to get over. But like you said, y'all not running from it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all facing it head on and you taking care of your business, man. And like I said, 20 years is a long time, but that's 20 years of marriage. That's not starting to date. Y'all 20 years of marriage. You know what I'm saying?
We've been together 26 years.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, you know, you think about it, that's almost half of your life, Teenie and Damon. That's more than half of your life. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. And we
So,
say all the time that we grew up together. Like we literally grew up together. When I talk about that, how people change, like that was us. Like we met at 19 and 21 years old. So we are definitely not those same people anymore. And again, we had to navigate our way even through that, because no one told me, even when we got married, I was 28 when we got married, but no one told me that, told me exactly that. You're not going to be the same person in 5 years. He's not going to be the same person in 5. Nobody told me that. So, this whole marriage thing, we learned this
that's what I'm saying. And I keep saying, this is y'all story. Y'all got a blueprint. You know what I'm saying? And like Damon said earlier, that he wouldn't advocate for his sons or his girls to go down the same path that he went to find love. You know what I'm saying? It'd be totally different. So when you guys speak of that, and like I said, it's almost half of your life, your young kids when you met, and to build that foundation and establish what y'all established. But I keep reiterating, 20 years of marriage. That don't include how long y'all been dating. But 20 years of marriage, man, that's a beautiful thing, man. So it's crazy that, the way it started, but look what it led into, Damon. Look what it led into. You know what I'm saying?
I'm happy. I'm happy, man. Seriously. Like I was a church going man some years ago, and my pastor said, happy is a feeling, but contentment. Man, I got it all. I won the lottery with her. You know what I mean? Like without a doubt.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
So I have one last question, and then we can wrap it up. Okay. Y'all know me with my question.
Get you off the hot seat.
Right. Okay.
Right.
Okay. So both of you, I want you to answer this. Damon, I'm gonna start with you. What would you tell now? What would you tell your 20-year-old self?
I knew you was gonna say
today?
that. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Man, that's a tough one. It's almost not a fair question, right? Because I can answer. I can say that. I can go back in the time machine and talk to my 20-year-old self about how I feel about where I am now, and it'd be easy to advocate. You know what I'm saying? To say, man, hold on to her. Work hard, be faithful, all that, all the catchphrases that you're supposed to say to a young man when it comes to relationships. But in all honesty, I would tell my younger self to go find yourself first. You know what I'm saying? And I think that, and I know, and it's tough, but I would say to a young Tamiko to go and find herself first, because I think that, she has and has always had all kinds of, beauty and intelligence and creativity, and things in her that, had she had the opportunity to just discover those things on her own without, having to think about, oh, now I got this man, now I got his child, now I got, you know what I mean, all of the life stuff that come along with that, to deal with, would she have made some different choices, right? And that's the same, for a young me. I would tell my young self, man, listen, you're going into this without being a fully confident man. You don't even know for sure that you can take care of yourself in this world. I mean, let's put it on. But I have the benefit of looking at the end result. You know what I'm saying? And I gotta be honest, man. The end result, bruh, 3 beautiful children, and all our kids are strong. They're self-sufficient. You know what I'm saying? They out here building life and chasing dreams in other places. I mean, my son and his wife and my two soon to be 2 grandchildren in Georgia chilling. My daughters are in Florida, living their best life in a great place, chasing their dreams. So I don't know. You know what I mean? Like I would say that, and that would be my advice to them. Find yourself first, because then you can go into a relationship as a whole person, right? As the whole real you, and then the other things that come along with that, with getting to know each other and growing in a relationship may be less impactful than they were to us, because we got a lot of scars underneath this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But at the same time, man, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Everything has come together for me. Everything has come together for me personally, man. And this go back to something else my pastor used to say too. But how you treat your wife is going to be a reflection on your life.
You better know it.
If you don't respect that woman and respect that wife that is giving you everything that she had, because that's what women do. They're just built like that. Thank God for them. That's what they do. So it's tough, man, because she didn't deserve a lot of the drama that was a part of us getting to this point. But now that we at this point, man, she good. She ain't gonna ever experience none of that again.
It's a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful thing, man. And like Ginger said, respect the honesty, Damon and Teenie. So it's beautiful, man. So since Kanisha asked Dame the question, I gotta ask Teenie the question. What would you tell your 20-year? I'm gonna say, what would you tell your 19-year-old self?
Oh, child, my night.
Run,
girl, run. I didn't know you at 19, but you were 19.
You're right. It would have been his 19, her 20.
Well, when you was 20.
I had just turned 21.
She a cougar.
21.
I was 21. I would tell my 21-year-old self, in addition to, find yourself, I would also tell myself, find yourself and you're going to be okay.
Great.
You're going to be okay. That you
with
and
without that.
Not even like necessarily basing it around you, but just in general, there, I would, I tell Dan this all the time. We've had this conversation. I would tell myself, go to college. Find, like Damon said, find yourself. Yeah. So that, so that when you do get, like you said, when you get into a relationship, some of these things, some of the hurdles you might not have to go through. If we knew who we were when we got into a relationship, some of the things would have been a lot easier. So I would just encourage myself to believe in myself, know you're going to be okay and believe in yourself.
Man, that's great. That's a great answer. And before I let you guys get up out of here, we always try to ask our participants. We got 3 fun facts about yourself. So Damon, I'm gonna start with you.
3 fun facts.
Give the audience 3 fun facts about yourself that people might not know.
Ooh. Oh man. 3 fun facts. Okay. All right. Man, do I have any fun facts?
I don't know. Do you?
I've come up with at least one. A lot of people won't know this about me.
Okay.
So when I was young, I was jive known to have a pretty nice singing voice.
Oh.
And when I was in middle school, I performed at the Kennedy Center with the PG County honors course and actually sang a duet at the Kennedy Center on stage in front of I can't even remember how many people. Whatever, Toy, Toy, you still older than me.
Anyway,
sang a duet at the Kennedy Center on stage when I was in middle school. I have no evidence to support this. My mom didn't buy the video, but if my mom is watching, Mom, please speak up because you know it's true. It actually happened. What else? I don't know. I
don't know that you
have. I don't have a lot of fun facts.
Fun facts about you.
I got a lot of embarrassing facts.
But that's okay. So since that one fun fact, you said that one fun fact, go ahead and bust a note.
Yeah, no. So that was middle school, bro. Yeah, it's been a lot of whiskey and weed smoking since then, man. So the words don't sound the same. Go ahead.
All right. Well, hey, but I respect that. So, Teenie, we're gonna ask you the same question. I mean, if you can't come up with 3, come up with one that people might not know.
I don't know. The first thing that pops into my mind, and I don't know why, but this whenever, if I'm doing an icebreaker type thing, if I'm in a situation where Andrea.
That's right, Dre.
Damon's sister confirmed that he.
There you go.
But this just makes me think about if this was an icebreaker type situation, and you had to do 2 truths and a lie type thing.
Yeah.
Or 2 lies and a truth. So whenever I do things like that, my truth thing that nobody ever believes, and I don't know why. I guess this is just an odd thing about me. That
I'll probably know it.
You know it, Craig. That I was born with 12 fingers.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. It's great, Teenie. The crazy thing I said, watch she bring up about her fingers. I knew it. I knew it.
Yeah. So the fun fact about me is that I was born with 12 fingers. I had an extra finger on each hand. They're little knots now, but
right there.
That's something that I'm pretty sure. But I don't know what.
A lot of people might not know that, Teenie.
Okay. Oh yeah, and I don't know how what the percentage of people are that are born with 12.
Yeah.
Born with additional fingers. So.
But with a full 12, you might be the only one in the world.
No. One of our kids. It's funny because one of our kids was born with 12 fingers too.
She picked up your traits.
Yes.
And Megan said she knew that, Teenie, because you used to show us, Teenie.
I did.
We used to talk about it. Yeah, we used to talk about it.
We were kids until and it's funny because they were tied off as baby. They fell off when I was a baby. I never lived with them except the first probably month of my life I had them. But I was also I'm hesitant sometimes to tell this story because Kareem, you'll appreciate this. Jeremiah Glassinger.
Yeah.
I did that one. I told people that when we were, I don't know, elementary school, and he called me an alien. So
yeah. Stayed in the back of us. Yep.
Yeah. Right. So but I think it's a cool fact. I think it's
it's a cool fact. Yeah, and I appreciate that. Go ahead, Dame.
I was gonna say I got one more fun fact.
Oh God,
what's that?
That I hadn't had a chance to mention earlier, but that fun fact is that I run a website where we provide THC products infused.
Oh, I was gonna let you get your plug in. That ain't even a fun fact.
Okay,
that's fact.
You want me to keep plugging or?
Yeah, go ahead, plug. Go and get your plug.
And I'm gonna back you up on it.
So listen, you got it. You can find me on Facebook at Dino Juice Man or on Instagram at Corner Juice Stand 99, right? And I've also got a website, www.cornerjuicestand.com, and you can check our website out. You can purchase our therapeutic THC infused products, lemonade, strawberry lemonade, mango lemonade, peach lemonade, raspberry lemonade. I've also got the THC gummies. They're brand new product and they are awesome. They come back with rave reviews. So please check us out at www.cornerjuicestand.com. And definitely hit me up on Instagram and Facebook. On Facebook at Dino Juice Man and on Instagram at Corner Juice Stand 99. We'll supply all your needs. Check us out.
There you go. And the thing about it is, Kanisha got something to say. Watch.
I can attest that Juice Man is where it's at, y'all. I'm telling you. When I tell you, I have had it myself, and I had to listen. Just get it. I'm telling you. That's all I can tell you is just get it, and you will not be disappointed. Let's just say that. It is wonderful. I like the strawberry. Look, I know all of them are great, But the strawberry lemonade, I think, is the one I had. Mm-hmm. And when Jay Sean brought whatever that flavor was, she brought to me, I had to tell myself I needed to get off the couch. But my leg said, no, ma'am, you're not getting off the couch.
Yeah.
So yes, it is wonderful. I love it.
Yeah.
Support him.
Yeah. And Jay Sean brought one here to Texas.
Thanks, man. And check it out. The dope part is that we're very discreet. You don't have to come see us. You can order from anywhere in the continental United States, man. We ship to you. No, shipping is free. We absorb the cost, and we get your product to you in discreet packaging. Nobody need to know, that you like to indulge if that's what you enjoy doing. So,
hey, but that's how the world is evolving now, man. So it's where it's at, man. So like I said, I appreciate that, man, and everybody out there, man. Salute to Damon on his product. And like I said, man, it was a wonderful time I had with you guys, man. Love you to death, man. Appreciate your time, Damon and Teenie, man. A beautiful show, man. A lot of people was tuned in. So hopefully this be one of those videos, man, that people can go up and look at and check out your love story and learn a lot from it. You know what I'm saying? It's not just that it's your story. It can impact somebody else. So it was great. And for everybody that's in the comments, man, I appreciate your feedback. I appreciate your honesty. I appreciate you tuned in with us, man. Like we always said, man, it's a beautiful thing, man. So, the podcast might not be for you guys, but it could be for somebody else. So tell a friend to tell a friend, you know what I'm saying? And that's how we rock over here. And shout out to, like I said, Be Pressing. They got us right for the show. They got Damon right for the show. So, man, y'all doing great things over there, Be Pressing. John and Rob, man, love y'all to death, man. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and always supporting. And it's been a wonderful thing. And, we had a great night, man, but, all good things must come to an end. So, like I tell everybody, man, tell a friend to tell a friend. Before we leave, man, my Instagram is pinned up on the screen. You can follow us on Instagram at Simplyballdroppinpodcast. Also, you can go to the website at www.simplyballdroppin.com. Also, the YouTube channel is up on there. Also, shout out to my wife over here with the boho chic. You can go onto her website, and we got you covered. So appreciate you guys for tuning in. Everybody, man, it's a blessing, man. We had a wonderful Saturday night with you guys, but we ain't going to hold you no longer than you want to be held. So once again, man, I appreciate everybody for tuned in, and that'll wrap up another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap Square, and we out of here. We catch you on the next one.
Thanks for listening to the Simply Ball Droppin' Podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share on all major platforms.